Hello, everybody, and welcome to Jets Roundup. Kevin Walsh alongside Ian Sacks, who covers the Jets for ESPN Radio Albany. Jets coming off a huge victory against the Miami Dolphins, and Ian was walking around the locker room pregame and postgame, getting some real interesting sound bites, and maybe the most interesting came from Quinton Coples, former Jets, recently cut, now signed by the Dolphins. Here's what Quinton Coples had to say.
The thing was I didn't fit in the defense, and that's why the decision was made. I wasn't playing, so this game is all about production. So at the end of the day, I wasn't playing, so I wasn't producing. So therefore, that call was going to be made. So I think this is a great opportunity for me, as far as my skill set, to be able to produce and be an impact in this team and in this league. So I'm excited about the future.
Okay, now hearing that from Quinton Coples, it really sends a message from Todd Bowles. And what do you think that message is being sent from the head coach?
I think it means that he means business, and that if you're not going to play, you're not going to contribute positively to the team effort and help them make the playoffs, which is what the Jets are fighting to do at 6-5, right in the thick of the wild card race. It says that, you know what, we're going to put in the players who are going to help us most, and Quinton Coples was not one of those players.
Now, I do think that this comes with a question of his job security. Obviously, 6-5 is good, and it's only been one season, but that defense was supposed to be the most important thing for this group, and it has struggled. And when you have to cut a former first-round draft pick, I think it can be questioned, how safe should Todd Bowles feel?
I think it's not so much this one incident. Every team is going to have an incident or two that just comes out of the blue, and you really wonder, where did that come from? But I think when you put this on top of the whole Geno Smith saga from over the summer. Now, granted, that was Todd Bowles' really first experience with the Jets, but put that together, and you really wonder, there's got to be something going on in that locker room. Two players fighting, one sucker punches the other. Then the whole question about the Quinton Coples, was there actually an incident on the plane on the way back from Houston? And you put that together, does Todd Bowles have control of this locker room? Now, I think his job is safe. I think he's building something here with the New York Jets. And look, they went 4-12 last year, 6-5 this year. Even if they don't win another game and they lose out, still they got 6 wins, 2 more than last year, and in a 16-game season, that's a big difference. But Todd Bowles, if another incident like this comes out, you're right back to the whole Rex Ryan saga and not having control of his players. But Todd Bowles definitely, I think, building something. But you do have to wonder, if another incident like this does come out, he might not have control of that locker room.
And I think for the biggest thing Todd Bowles does is just getting to the playoffs realistically. If he gets there, there's a guarantee he'll be back next season. And interestingly enough, it's not the defense that he's going to be counting on, it's this offense. And is that a safe bet for this group, to trust this offense to get them to the playoffs?
Unfortunately, it's not a safe bet, because we did see the offense couldn't produce in Houston, and the Jets lost pretty badly in that game. Really a big opportunity for them to establish themselves and create a little separation in that tight wild card race. So I think that the offense, when it does click, is going to be phenomenal for the Jets over the final few weeks of the season. But you have to be concerned that they might not produce. Sometimes Ryan Fitzpatrick tries to manage the game a little too much, tries to force things a little too much. Chris Ivory in the running game haven't produced a lot recently. So I think that they can't 100% say that our offense is going to put up 38 points like they did last week in every single week. But that's the goal. And we know that this team can do it. And if they can do it on a consistent basis, then I think that the Jets will make a run and get into the playoffs.
And I would have to agree, though, that the Jets relying on offense isn't really going to be the winning formula. It was supposed to be ground and pound, great defense. Now, I think that the offense has surprised, and the defense doesn't have to be the top 5-1 that we expected. But if it is, if that defense wakes up and Darrelle Revis starts locking guys down and that front seven really stops the run and puts a lot of pressure on the quarterback, this Jets team can actually make a real deep run in the postseason. Would you have to agree?
Absolutely. The front seven is phenomenal for this New York Jets team. And it's really been the secondary that everyone thought. You have Cromartie, you have Rivas. Everyone looked at that secondary and thought that they were going to be the phenomenal ones. But now, of course, the Rivas injury hurting the Jets. His status questionable for the Giants game. But if they can get Rivas back healthy and that defense clicking and the way that they thought that they were going to be producing, the Jets, I'd say, they get into the playoffs and they could be one of the scariest teams in the AFC.
Well, after a big Week 12, things looking up for the New York Jets. We'll have to see how they close the season out. Kevin Walsh, Ian Sacks, this has been Jets Roundup. We'll see you guys next time.